everyone. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kristen. Welcome to Pillow Talk on Hatch Plus, where your dreams always get a pre-game show. Josh, how are you doing right now? What are your highs and lows today?
It's been all over the map this week. I'm going to start low and end high, so we end on the high note.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, I think so. Much better than being like, here's what's good, and now let's talk about some real sorrow. My low is that I am a big newsletter reader. I subscribe to a lot of newsletters, and I have fallen behind because I've been so busy. I usually wake up in the morning and catch up on emails. And I slept in a little bit today and wasn't able to get the jump on the day I wanted. So I have a backlog of interesting things to read tomorrow, but I know it's going to take a bite out of my morning too. So I'm going to have to get up extra early. And my high is that my sister is coming to town this weekend and we're going to hang out and have dinner and see a Broadway show.
Oh, that's fun. Can you tell me what show you're seeing?
We're going to see Oh Mary, which my wife and I saw off Broadway, and my sister has been really wanting to come to the city and see it. Have you seen it?
No, I've been wanting to see it too because, I feel like it's the hit of the season.
It's really spectacular. And we saw it with Cola Scola, who wrote it and has starred in it and then stepped away for a little while and now is back. And their performance is just so wonderful and kind of unhinged, and it's just it's a joy. It's so fully realized, and it's such its own tone that I'm excited for my sister to finally see it. She's been really looking forward to it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her and getting her opinion on it.
Oh, that'll be fun. For listeners who don't know, Oh Mary is kind of a comedic story about Mary Todd Lincoln and her marriage to Abraham Lincoln. And it's wacky. And I've been reading a lot about it. And I happen to be a history nerd, so I love all things Lincoln. But
I think Cole, when writing it, said they did no research. They were like, I am just going to go with my gut here. And it really shows, because it's so funny that Abraham Lincoln is such a prominent figure in history, but also in the public imagination, right? And it's so funny to see Abraham Lincoln and his wife so thoroughly and imaginatively redrawn.
Yes.
Well, how are you doing? What are your highs and lows lately?
All right, so I'm going to copy you and start with the low. I had this long subway ride lined up, and I was so excited. This is going to be a time for me just to dig into this audiobook I've been really enjoying, get the next 2, maybe even 3 chapters listened to. I open up my handbag, and Josh, who forgot to put their headphones in their handbag, that would be me.
Oh, no.
It just sucks because, what am I going to do? Be that person who just takes out my phone and then puts it on speakerphone so I can listen to my audiobook and make everybody else listen to it too? Nobody wants to hear that.
No, that's not ideal. That's an inconsiderate way to move through the world.
Yeah. So I could not listen to my audiobook, and it was a low. I was bummed out.
Did you get to do any good eavesdropping at least?
I did try to eavesdrop a little bit and, just tried to make the most of my time on the subway. I looked at all the different ads that were up for various things. The ads are always just, they almost seem comical on the subway. So
I didn't realize there were so many colorful lawyer characters in the city until on the subway, you just learn about a new one every week.
Oh, yeah. So many lawyers to call.
There's so many prominent subway lawyers, and they all deserve their due.
Yes.
I had a great eavesdrop the other day where I saw a guy get on the train and tell a lovely couple with their 18-month-old kid. The guy sits down next to them, and I heard it. I similarly didn't have my headphones in, and he said, "Your baby is so cute, it makes me want to be a father."
Oh my gosh. And I'll just be taking that baby with me.
Yeah. I'm about to be a father right now.
Oh my God.
So that was the low, and I'm sorry you had to deal with that. What was the high?
The high was, rather than taking the subway back, I decided to go on a nice long walk, and I walked across bridges. And I always find, Josh, when I walk across a bridge, it feels like a journey in a totally different way than just walking on land. I'm going from one island to another island. How bananas is that? And I'm on this bridge that was built 100 years ago to do it. And as I walk across the bridge, there's all this water flowing underneath me and these boats. For me personally, I don't need a soundtrack to do that. I can just enjoy being on that bridge. So that was a real high for me.
It's so funny. I've been thinking about this so much about like how old the bridges are, so many of them,
Oh,
in
yeah.
a good way. And like people just figured this out with like abacuses or whatever. Well, Kristen, I think we're already having a great time, but it's time to kick this up a notch because it is game night.
Yay! I love game night. I'm so into it.
So we're going to play two games tonight, and I think it'll be really fun to start with two truths and a lie. I'm going to tell you three things about myself. Two are true, and one is completely made up. Then you're going to ask me up to three questions to try to figure out which one of my facts was actually a lie. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm so ready.
Okay. Fact number one. I was once sponsored by Wheaties, the cereal, to run a Tough Mudder, one of those like 10-mile obstacle courses.
Okay.
Number two, I was the secretary treasurer of my high school's speech and debate team.
Got it. Okay.
Fact number three, I only have one wisdom tooth, and my dentist said, just let it hang out. I never had to have my wisdom teeth out because there's only one. And he said, it's not hurting anybody. Let him cook.
Just by itself.
Just by itself.
A lonely wisdom tooth all alone.
Lonely wisdom tooth. That's right.
Okay. I'm going to say I really want to believe the Wheaties claim. I didn't know that they could even sponsor a Tough Mudder. Maybe they can't. Maybe this is a lie, but I
Okay.
desperately want this one to be true. So just one question about that.
Yes.
When was this?
When was this? Was like 2013.
12 years ago. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. The speech and debate team, what was the topic? Because I'm just going to say I was also on the debate team, and there's a national topic that people throughout the nation have to debate. And I'm just curious about what the topic was that year.
Oh, so my topic, this was 2003.
Okay.
And our topic was about the ethics of cloning, like whether
Okay.
it's ethical and possible, even if possible, is it ethical to clone, and what are the kind of philosophical debates around that?
Okay. That sounded like a convincing answer, and I can't confirm or deny that because I don't know what 2003's topic was, but it sounded convincing. Okay. Topic number 3. You have only one wisdom tooth.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me exactly where in your mouth that wisdom tooth is, please?
Yep. It is top mouth, left side, all the way back.
Top all the way back.
Obviously, all the way back. Nobody's got a wisdom tooth in the front, but top, left, back.
Okay. God, I want to believe that Wheaties one. It sounds like malarkey, but I want to believe it. I also want to believe the wisdom tooth one because I also am wisdom tooth deficient myself.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't often meet other wisdom tooth deficient people. Although I like to say we're not deficient, we're evolved. We don't really need those teeth.
That's what my dentist told me. They said you're highly evolved because
Yeah.
like there's no evolutionary purpose to wisdom teeth.
Yeah. So we're not deficient, we're evolved. And I want to believe that you are evolved along with me.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to say that the lie is that you were the secretary/treasurer of your speech and debate team. And the reason why is because that's 2 roles. That's both secretary and treasurer. That's 2
Wow.
roles.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me, am I right? Am I wrong?
You nailed it. That was the lie.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I got it right. You sounded
Yep.
so convincing when you delivered the topic for the year and
Thank
everything.
you. Yeah, I'm trying to get more deceitful in my real life. So this is really helpful. I did a gig running a Tough Mudder for Wheaties, sponsored by Wheaties. I think the premise was that they had, historically had these like high achieving athletes, like Olympic gymnasts. And they were like, we're going to try a different tack. We're going to get people that don't seem like they're very good at sports at all. And so they found me. That's true. I did not participate in speech and debate. My high school didn't have a speech and debate team. I think if they had, I would have jumped at the opportunity to recreationally argue, but small school, no debate team. And then one wisdom tooth never created any problems with my
I can't
mouth.
believe I got that right. I was sure in the end you'd be like, duh, obviously it's the Wheaties one that's the
Nope,
lie.
that one's true. So do you still have your wisdom teeth or did you have none?
I have zero.
Whoa, even further down the evolutionary chart than I am.
We're pretty close though. You only have one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're going to take over the world clearly, Josh.
I think that's right. Well, now it's your turn. I can't wait to hear these three facts and then figure out which one of them is not a fact at all.
All right. So I decided to create a bit of a theme around my three facts here. They're all barnyard related. So, fact number one, I once hugged a live chicken. Fact number two, I once fed a sheep broccoli with my bare hands. And fact number three, I actually milked a cow.
Ooh.
So, those are my three facts.
When I play this game, I kind of zoom out and I do like bigger conceptual questions
Mhm.
just to kind of like get the profile of the person I'm dealing with, see if they're a real
Ooh.
sicko, what kind of lies they might tell. Um, okay, number one, do you garden regularly?
I would not say I regularly garden. I keep houseplants and I have off and on tried to garden, but it can be really hard in Brooklyn on a fire
Yeah.
escape to garden well. And that's really the biggest obstacle to my gardening efforts.
Do you have any pets?
At this time, I do not have any pets. I have in
Okay.
the past, but I don't now.
Okay. And number three, do you have a driver's license?
I do have a driver's license.
Okay. I'm going to go through my thought process real quick. I think you have a comfort with animals clearly. So any of these could be true. I know that chickens are surprisingly cuddly, and this
Mhm.
feels very plausible to me. Milked a cow, that seems like something they let you do. Like, you visit a farm and they probably don't let you like plow a field, but they let you milk a cow, feel good about it. Fed a sheep broccoli with your bare hands. I feel like number one, you don't want your bare hands in a sheep's mouth. I feel like you don't know when they're going to chomp. And number two, I think that sheep aren't that into broccoli. I don't know that that's their thing. So I'm going with number two as the lie. Fed a sheep broccoli with your bare hands.
Okay. All right. Well, number one, you called it correctly. I have hugged a chicken,
Okay,
and
good,
chickens
good.
are surprisingly cuddly.
Hmm.
This was my sister's home in Arizona. She had pet chickens in the backyard, and she said, "Would you like to hug one?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, I do." I did feed a sheep broccoli with my bare hands.
Whoa.
I was staying at an Airbnb, and the Airbnb had pet sheep.
Wow.
And they had all sorts of pet animals, kuni pigs, a few other interesting farm animals there. And they said, "Would you like to feed the sheep?" And I said, "Sure. What do I feed them?" And they said, "Oh, their favorite food is broccoli." And they gave me a broccoli stalk and they said, "You can feed them with your bare hands." They came running when they saw the broccoli. If you want
Wow.
to see some sheep run, they were like, "Oh, yeah, broccoli. Delish."
I also love broccoli.
So do
So
I.
I didn't know sheep and I had so much in common.
Oh, yeah. You and sheep, the same. Totally.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, it's been on my wish list for my entire life to milk an actual cow. I want so badly to, but I've never been in a situation where I've had the opportunity. No one's ever said, "Would you like to milk this cow?" And I haven't actually been in situations where it would make sense to ask, "May I milk your cow?" Like,
Sure. Yeah. That's very intimate. It's like telling someone that their baby makes you want to be a father.
I can't do that. It's too weird.
It's a real bridge to cross. And I know you love crossing bridges, but
I
this one
do.
might be even longer than a mile.
Not the right bridge. Yeah.
Understood. Okay. Well, I believe in your ability to do that. And I'm a bad guesser, or you're a great liar.
But you're great at asking those big psychological questions. I have
Thank
to
you.
commend you for that. I was like,
I,
oh, he's really getting inside my
I
brain
do
here.
feel like I have a picture of who you are in a way that didn't help me win this game, but I think has brought us closer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and now that we've broken the ice, time to kick things up a second notch, and we're gonna play a little kiss, marry, kill. You decide who's your crush, who's your forever, and who's never getting a text back. So, first off, kiss, marry, kill. Bop It, Tamagotchi, Easy Bake Oven.
So Bop It, I do like pushing buttons. I liked that Simon game as a kid, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It has a lot of Simon-like qualities.
Yeah. Tamagotchi, that's tough. I'm just going to confess. I'm going to kill it, and it's going to be by accident because I'm not a good fake pet parent. I've tried to do it, kind of like people who are not good houseplant people, you know?
Yep.
So I'm going to kill the Tamagotchi.
Okay.
Easy Bake Oven. I loved my Easy Bake Oven when I was a kid, even though no child should be playing with that unsupervised. But God, I loved it. Okay, I think I'm going to kiss the Bop It because it's fun to push buttons and it's fun to have a toy that you're willing to fight with other people over.
Yep.
I'll fight with you over this. And I'm going to marry the Easy Bake Oven. I feel like there's a lot of room for experimentation, reinvention, just like when you get married to somebody, you know? There are lots of directions I can go here, ways to explore this. Plus, I feel like it's a good, stable experience. And that's what I want in a marriage. Like, this is going to sit on my countertop and it's not going to fall apart. People buy Easy Bake Ovens secondhand right now that are 40 years old.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I've seen them at the Goodwill before. So,
Wow.
Yeah, I'm marrying the Easy Bake Oven. Sorry,
Nice.
Tamagotchi. What about you?
Okay. I'm going the distance with the Tamagotchi.
Oh,
I just think we can really build a life together. And that's kind of what it's designed for, right? You want to spend a long time together, you keeping it alive, it giving you something to think about in the back of your mind at every waking moment. And I think that's really special. I'm going to kiss the Easy Bake Oven, but not on the hot part.
yeah. Very dangerous.
And then I'm gonna bop it right on its noggin. Get it out of here. I don't need that. I don't need a toy that's bossing me around.
You can't tell me when to bop.
I bop what I want to bop. Bop it. Got it?
You know the best part about this, Josh? We're not fighting over the same spouse.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. This isn't kind of a there's not a bop triangle.
Yeah. All right. Can I dare you to a kiss, marry, kill?
Please.
All right. So from the SpongeBob universe, Mr. Krabs, Plankton, or Gary?
Okay. I'm gonna kiss Gary, cute little snail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna marry Mr. Krabs because he seems like a provider. And sadly, Plankton, you're out of there.
Okay. Why?
It's, someone's got to go. And I think it's just best not to be sentimental about such things. Yeah, Mr. Krabs is, he's responsible. He runs a business. He's given opportunities to sponges. Nobody's hiring sponges under the sea except for him.
Mhm.
And so I think that there's a lot to recommend him as a partner. What about you?
Oh my gosh. You've made so many good arguments.
Thank you.
Okay. So I feel like Plankton is going to keep me on my toes.
Ooh, spicy.
And there's something to be said for that. Someone who keeps you on your toes. So maybe I'm going to kiss Plankton.
Okay. You got to kiss Plankton.
Sometimes it's fun to kiss trouble, right?
That's right. I love that. It's
Yeah.
fun to kiss trouble. That sounds like the tagline to a very exciting movie.
You don't want to marry trouble.
Just kiss trouble.
Just kiss trouble. Gary is very loyal and is kind of a spouse already, right? He lives with SpongeBob already. And so Gary's going to be there for you, right?
I think that's right.
So I think I'm going to marry Gary.
Yeah. And
And
it sounds great. That's a very euphonic
yeah,
sound as well.
marry Gary, kiss Plankton. And then I think I have to let Mr. Krabs die. And
All right.
I think one of the biggest issues is Mr. Krabs and I might be too much of the same. We might be too similar. And I can't have somebody who's just like me for fun or for marriage. It's just too much of the same. You know what I mean?
I understand. Yeah. You got to get away from you a little bit.
Yeah,
That's why they invented other people.
exactly. If I wanted to marry myself, I would already be married to myself right now. And I did not marry myself. I married another human. So yeah,
I
final
think
answer.
that's a great choice.
So I okay, again, we're not fighting over who we're marrying.
No, I think this is really nice. I think we're very compatible by virtue of having very opposite opinions.
Yes, I think so too.
Kristen. It is getting late, and I think I'm getting ready to retire to bed with my two spouses, Tamagotchi and Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, well, all that gameplay has me worn out too, and I'm also ready to sleep. So, Josh, have a great night. Cuddle up to your two spouses, and I hope you all have sweet dreams.
Good night, Kristen.
Good night.